Hello to everyone who has just joined our fantastic interactive quiz. We're going to be starting very shortly. I'm just waiting for a few more people to join, which they're doing at the moment. Thank you for responding to your emails, and thank you also for the donations that you've already made. If you've got a bit more, spare change, I've got a fantastic way for you to win a magnum of champagne. So I'll tell you about that in a moment or two. Now, obviously, some of the rounds for this will be bike themed because the Bike Project is a charity all about the power of the bicycle. And I'll explain more about that in a moment or two. Just hoping that those that are still to join are going to be with us shortly. The Bike Project workshops actually have stayed open during the pandemic. The mechanics have found a way of working, obviously, because they tend to be on their own working on one bike, that obviously they can remain socially distant, so it's very safe. And the deliveries are contact free now, instead of people coming as they would have done to the workshop, which is, it costs more, but it's a shame because part of the joy, as we know, of life generally is being able to meet different people and chatting to them. Thank you to those who are joining in, by the way. Liz and Matt and Simon and David and Patrina are all saying hello. Some of those that I met beforehand in the VIP chat. Oh, we've even got someone from Australia. It's 2:30 in the morning. Thank you. I'm going to share this with you. Alice, my partner, has paid to join the quiz, but she had the option of paying £30 to be part of the VIP behind the scenes, meet me and ask a question, and she declined. Yeah, I know. What am I meant to do? But she is part of the quiz and she has not seen the questions. And it's quite tricky, some of this. Anyway, a few more people still joining, but I suspect that we can begin, because I will repeat all the questions and there'll be an opportunity at the end of every round. I'll put them up as well in Vision so you can read them through if you've misheard me. And then we'll give the answers at the end of the first 3 rounds, and then there's 4 and 5. So there's 5 rounds in total. And just a reminder, that's a great picture, that is. Just a reminder that it's for fun. So, it's not really competitive. You don't have to be Googling answers, and there is, no cash prize for the winner at the end of it. But as I mentioned, chances to win prizes throughout the evening. So just the other thing I will say is that the quizmaster, in this case me, my ruling is final. I have ultimate power in this instance. So the prize draw, and this is essentially, if you give a donation, however small or large, we will put your name into a prize draw for a magnum of Merton Chandon champagne, and we will make that draw at the end of the 5 rounds, but you need to have your donation in before the end of round 4. So you should be able to see a link and you can have a look at that, make a donation. The Just Giving link is in the YouTube video, in the YouTube video description. So if you see that, click on that, just make a donation, because you're going to get a magnum of champagne, or somebody is, at a very good rate. So thank you very much, though, for your donations already. You've really been fantastic. We're aiming to raise £2,000. And the more that we can raise, obviously, the more refugees we can help. And when you think about the life of a refugee or an asylum seeker, it is so tough. £37 a week they have to live on, and you will know, because we all know the cost of everything, that doesn't go a long way. But what a bicycle can do, and this is why it's such a brilliant charity, it's so simple, that in giving someone a fully refurbished bicycle, and the bicycle is donated to us, to the charity, we're giving somebody independence, we're giving them freedom, we're giving them a way of traveling, and we're giving them the ability to go through a door, as it were, into another world, because that bike can take them everywhere. And we all know, I think, during lockdown, how important it has been for us to get out into the fresh air, whether it be on a bike or on foot. But also when you need that bicycle, when it actually can take you to a place where you can see someone you know, or you can help somebody who needs help, then I think it's really important. Or indeed cycle to a place where you know that you can get food at a really good rate, or go to a centre that will help you. Then a bicycle gives you that option. So I'll tell you more about the bike project as we go on through the evening, but thank you for joining, because it really means a lot to us and we can make a big difference here. So are we ready for the bike project quiz? This is the sports quiz. Da, da, da. Just imagine the music and the drums and everything is going, and you should be seeing on your screens, I hope you are. I'm not, but I hope you are, seeing a lovely colourful page. And so I'm just writing a note here. Ah, here we go. This is looking good. Yes, that's it. So welcome to the Bike Project Spectacular Sports Quiz with me, Clare Balding. Round one is cycling. And here is your first question. In August 2017, Jason and Laura Kenny had a baby boy. What is his name? And you can give me his long version of his name or the shortened version of his name. Either is acceptable. But in August 2017, the most successful Olympic couple in British sporting history, Jason and Laura Kenny, they had a baby boy. What is his name? Let you ponder that for a while. And if you don't know, you can just pick a cool name. Gordon, Colin, Pickle. I'm just giving names that we've given our kittens. It might be one of them. You never know. Right, question 2. The two-wheeled bicycle was revealed in 1817 by an inventor from which country? And I'm going to give you an A, B, or C. Is it A, Italy, B, Germany, or C, Great Britain? So the two-wheeled bicycle was revealed in 1817 by an inventor from which country? Italy, Germany, or Great Britain? And there were sort of four-wheel bicycles and things earlier on, but the two-wheel bike specifically didn't have pedals, I don't think. I think they were sort of pushed along by foot. So you're going to write a country down there. I should have told you at the beginning you'd need a pen and paper, but I'm hoping as it's a quiz, you knew that. But then again, if you're playing on your own, you could just like in your head go, I know what that is. Remember it. And then when the answers are revealed, go, yay, I'm clever. Question 3. He won an Olympic gold medal in 1992 in the individual pursuit, 1992. He broke the world hour record 3 times. He won 3 stages of the Tour de France. He has designed a popular brand of commercial bike, and he is nicknamed the Professor. Who is he? So I'll give you that again. He won an Olympic gold medal in 1992 in the individual pursuit. He broke the world hour record 3 times. He won 3 stages of the Tour de France. He has designed a popular brand of commercial bike, and he is nicknamed the Professor. He's also a real advocate of cycle routes and has transformed one city in Great Britain because of it. Who is he? Have a little sip, refreshment. Okay, next question. And I'm going to give all these to you in written form. So if you've missed any, don't worry, we'll recap. Which British cyclist has won the most stages of the Tour de France? He is second on the all-time list behind Eddy Merckx of Belgium. So which British cyclist has won most stages of the Tour de France? And he's second on the all-time list behind the great Eddy Merckx of Belgium. Thank you to Alice, who's wanting a prize just for signing in. I will find you a box of chocolates from the cupboard in the kitchen. Next question. So, in which year was BMX racing added to the Olympics as a full medal winning sport? So in which year was BMX racing added to the Olympics as a full medal winning sport? Do you know? Oh no, maybe I was about to tell you something that I think might be a later question, so I won't do it now. Yes, it is. I was about to tell you something that was then literally going to be the next question. So it occurred to me. Still on the theme of BMX, next question, what does BMX, so this is question 6, what does BMX stand for? Is it A, Bicycle Moto Extra, B, Biking Made Extreme, or C, Bicycle Motocross? So what does BMX stand for? Bicycle Moto Extra, Biking Made Extreme, or Bicycle Motocross? So question 7. I think this is a fascinating fact, and you will repeat this tomorrow to everyone you see because I think this is amazing. At which Olympic Games were women first allowed to compete in cycling? And it was only in the road race. But when did female cyclists make their debut at the Olympics? So if you know the venue as well as the year, then I'll give you a bonus point. So at which Olympic Games were women first allowed to compete in cycling? And it was only in the road race. Took a little while longer before they were allowed on the track. Liz in Australia is in Team Koala. Love that. David is representing Team Christopher Froome. Oh, that's very good. And Patrina's team, you've called yourselves Never Iron a Wet Cat. That's very good advice. Right, next question. This is question 8. In the Tour de France, what colour jersey does the King of the Mountains wear? So in the Tour de France, what colour jersey does the King of the Mountains wear? And you can have fun with that answer if you don't know. Say anything you like. Question 9, I'm going to show you a picture. And the question is, what is the name of this bicycle? So what is the name of that bicycle? And finally, in this round, question 10. The track bicycles used by racers in the velodrome have one major difference to road bikes. What is it? Is it A, no brakes, B, they have an engine, C, they have drop handlebars? So the bikes that are used in the velodrome have one major difference to road bikes. Is it A, no brakes, B, they have an engine, or C, they have drop handlebars? And that concludes round 1. Let's show you those questions in text form, just so you can pick up any that you missed. So first, question 1 was, Jason and Laura Kenny had a baby boy in August 2017. What is his name? The two-wheel bicycle was revealed in 1817 by an inventor from which country? Was it A, Italy, B, Germany, or C, Great Britain? And then this was a who is he question. Amazing man in cycling history. He won an Olympic gold medal in 1992 in the individual pursuit. He broke the world hour record 3 times. He won 3 stages of the Tour de France. He designed a popular brand of commercial bike. He is nicknamed the Professor, and he has transformed, I'm going to add this bit, he's transformed the cycling routes of a major British city. Who is he? Question 4 was, which British cyclist has won the most stages of the Tour de France? Second in the all-time list behind Eddie Merckx. Question 5 was, in which year was BMX racing added to the Olympics as a full medal winning sport? Question 6 was, what does BMX stand for? A, B, or C? A being bicycle motor extra, B biking made extreme, C bicycle motocross. Question 7 was, at which Olympic Games were women first allowed to compete in cycling? Question 8 was, in the Tour de France, what coloured jersey does the King of the Mountains wear? Question 9 was, what is the name of that bicycle? And question 10 was, the track bicycles used by racers in the velodrome have one major difference to road bikes. Is it A, B, or C? Hopefully you have filled in all the gaps there. And I'll just remind you that if you are kind enough to make a donation to us via the Just Giving button on your YouTube, then you will enter into a draw for a magnum of champagne with which you can celebrate the sun coming out, which it will this weekend. It's going to be a lovely weekend, apparently. And hopefully you'll get to see more friends in still relatively small, safe groups, but there is plenty to feel good about. And I hope you are feeling good about life in general. And if you're not, a magnum of champagne is a good way to think about what can still be improved. So round 2 is football in all forms. And question 1 here is, can you name the former German international footballer who went on to become a professional wrestler in the WWE? Quite difficult, this one. Can you name the former German international footballer who went on to become a professional wrestler in the WWE? Question 2. What is a common nickname, or what is the common nickname used to describe the Australian Football League? So, a bit of Aussie rules here. That's not the answer, by the way. But don't overthink this. So, what is the common nickname used to describe the Australian Football League? Liz, you see in Team Koala, is going to be all over this in Australia. Yeah, just think of, it's not as difficult as you think it is. Question 3, how many clubs did David Beckham play for during his career? And you can get a bonus point per club that you can name. So David Beckham fans, eat your hearts out. How many clubs did he play for? And 1 bonus point per club that you can name. I think I would get 3 of them. It's more than that, so there you go. How many clubs did he play for? Question 4, which month generally sees both the All-Ireland football and hurling finals? Which month generally sees both the All-Ireland football and hurling finals being played at Croke Park in Dublin? And I have to say, I got invited and I couldn't go to an All-Ireland final, and I would really, really enjoy that. That would be fantastic. The All-Ireland football I got invited to. Great event, and Croke Park is an amazing venue. But which month would you see that? The All-Ireland football and the hurling finals at Croke Park in Dublin. Question 5. In Australian Football League, there are 4 goalposts. So this is in AFL again. How many points do you get if you kick the ball through the middle 2 goalposts? Is it A, 1, B, 6, or C, 10? So in AFL, there are 4 goalposts. How many points do you get if you kick the ball through the middle 2 goalposts? A is 1, B, well, is it 1, 6, or 10? Question 6. In American football, when is Super Bowl Sunday? So in American football, when is the big final? When is the Super Bowl? So it's kind of like it's a bit like giving an answer to the Derby or Thanksgiving. you're looking for what when do they say the Super Bowl is played on? Question 7. Who has scored the most own goals in the Premier League? It's a bit cool. Oh, I love that. As I started the round of can you name the German international footballer, quite a lot of people saying no, they can't name the footballer. Is that an acceptable answer? Yeah. No, it's not. So that was question 7, which was who scored the most own goals in the Premier League. Question 8, 2 English players have won the World Cup Golden Boot. Who are they? So 2 English players have won the World Cup's Golden Boot. Who are they? Next one, question 9. Per team, how many team members are on the pitch in a game of Gaelic football? So on the pitch at one time, how many on one side in Gaelic football? And finally, in this round of all football things, question 10, in American football, where do the players score? So what's the name of the area in which the players score? Okay, do you want to see that in print form? Let's give you the text versions of that. So first question was, you see there, that's what I should have said. Name the former German international footballer who became a professional WWE wrestler. So no, I can't is not an acceptable answer. 2 is what is a common nickname to describe the Australian Football League. Question 3, how many clubs did David Beckenford play for? And you can get a bonus point per club you can name. Question 4, which month sees both the All-Ireland football and hurling finals being played at Croke Park in Dublin? In Australian Football League, there are 4 goalposts. How many points do you get if you kick the ball between the middle 2? Is it 1, 6, or 10? Question 6. In American football, when is the Super Bowl played? When is Super Bowl Sunday? Question 7, who has scored the most own goals in the Premier League? Question 8, 2 English players have won the World Cup Golden Boot. Who are they? Question 9, how many team members on the pitch in a game of Gaelic football on one team? So per team, not the total. But if you got the total and you put total, that's fine. But essentially, we're looking for one team. How many team members on the pitch at the same time? And finally, in this round, in American football, where do the players score? Is what that should say. Okay. Good. So I was just going to tell you a little bit more about the bikes that we get that people kindly donate. And we've got mechanics, and we've also got a whole load of volunteers, a lot of whom who've joined this quiz, and some of whom I met beforehand in the VIP session that Alice didn't want to join, her loss. And those volunteers and mechanics together refurbish the bikes, and the bikes get given to refugees. And we have at the moment 350 refugees waiting for bikes because of the added expense during this time of having to deliver the bicycles rather than them coming into the shop and getting them. It's all getting a bit expensive. So that is why we need your help even more than before. So if you are thinking that you would like to contribute, then please do, because as I mentioned before, if you go to that Just Giving section, and you already have contributed, so thank you for that. This is only if you feel that you're able to do a little bit more. We will enter your name into a draw for a magnum of Moët and Chandon champagne, which we'll be absolutely delighted to send to you, which we will. And I think that I talked earlier about social interaction and the shared experience, and how that has very much been taken away from us during the pandemic. I think for refugees and asylum seekers already being pulled out of or having to take themselves out of their home and their environment, already being separated from the people they love, that feeling that separation now from anyone else is even more painful. So it is a time when I think that anything we can do will be appreciated, and anything you can give will go even further for what we can do with it. So thank you. The other thing you can do, and lots of people will be considering taking up cycling and cycling more regularly. Now, if you're going to, and you're thinking, oh, I'd quite like a new bicycle actually, and you look at your old one and you think, oh, it's got a few miles left in it, but not really, then give it to us, give it to the Bike Project, and tell everybody about that, because I think as people upgrade anything, that it's really nice to know that it has a second life. Your original bike can have a second life and can really help someone. So think about that and spread the message on that as well. We would really appreciate it. Right. I am looking at my screen because I'm going to give you round 3 now, and then at the end of round 3, I'm going to give you the answers to 1, 2, and 3. Now, round 3 is a bit more quick fire. It's a picture round. You're going to see 5 images, and each image is 2 famous sports stars merged together, and you're going to get a point for each one you can identify. So here is your first amalgamation of 2 sporting superstars. Who are the 2 people in this photo? Okay, hopefully you've worked that out, because your first instinct is the thing to go with. Sometimes the more you look at it, the more difficult it gets. So I'm going to move you on to the second picture. Oh, now we see one of those is really easy. The other one a bit harder. Think about, okay, look at the shirt. That might not help you, but and think of, if I had to say his catchphrase, I would say, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Okay, this third one makes me laugh so much. That is a brilliant. That is a really good mashup. I'll give you a clue there. They're both footballers. Okay, number 4. Again, one is easy. The other, look at the retro shirt. That'll help you. It's a very good app, this. I've done this with friends, and I did a quiz with some mates, and they did this with all of our pictures. It was, yeah, really frightening. And actually, what's quite clever here is, and I didn't do this round, so I get no credit for it, but Sarah, or whoever did do it, has actually picked people who do look sort of similar, which you'll realise when we go to number 5. 2 really, really well-known British sports stars here, and they do look quite similar. But if you kind of just kind of half close your eyes, and then you'll see I think one's more obvious than the other, but that might be because I know one better than I know the other. And actually, now I look at it again, you might see the other one first. Anyway, isn't that a fun round? I like that a lot. Brilliant. Well, that is the first 3 rounds complete. Would you like the answers? I'm imagining you're all saying yes. I can't hear you, but I'm imagining you're going, yes, give us the answers. Okay, from the top. My first question was about Jason and Laura Kenny and their baby boy. What is his name? Hang on one sec. Here we go. And the answer is Albert. I will also accept Albie. And very exciting. Jason Kenny's obviously got a chance in Tokyo of surpassing. Oh no, should I say that? Maybe that's a question that's coming up later as well. No, I won't tell you that now. But anyway, both Jason and Laura Kenny could add to their medal haul in Tokyo, and they've been extremely successful. So the two-wheel bicycle was invented by a German inventor. He was called Baron Karl von Drais. Question 3, the man I was after with the Olympic gold and the world hour record and the popular brand of commercial bike, Chris Boardman. The British cyclist who's won most stages of the Tour de France is Mark Cavendish. The year that BMX racing was added to the Olympics was 2008. That's in Beijing. Give yourself an extra point if you knew 2008 was in Beijing. BMX, I said, what does it stand for? I gave you an A, B, or C. And the answer was C, bicycle motocross. So the X being for the cross, you see, clever. Now, which Olympic Games were women first allowed to compete in cycling? It was not until 1984. That also was the first time that women were allowed to compete in the marathon. And track cycling for women, they were only allowed in that in 1988 and only in the sprint. 1988 in the velodrome, only in the sprint. So yeah, very late is really the answer. So in the Tour de France, the coloured jersey King of the Mountains wears is white with red polka dots. The name of the bicycle, the picture we showed you, that was a penny farthing. And the track bicycles, what's the big difference? They have no brakes. So round 2 was football. I hope you've done well in that. You may well have got 10 out of 10, but if you got, or you may have got more because there were bonus points on offer. So well done for that. Yes, there was a bonus point on offer, wasn't there, if you said Beijing as well. Round 2, football in all its forms. The former German international, if anyone got this right, do share it with us in the chat box. I'll be very impressed with you. The former German international who became a professional WWE wrestler was Tim Weiser, is how we think we pronounce that. But anyway, I think that's quite difficult. What is the common nickname to describe Australian Football League? It's footy. It's just footy. So then is Aussie rules different? Did I get that wrong? Is that completely different? Or are they the same thing? I hope my Australian correspondent will fill me in. How many clubs did David Beckham play for? The answer is 6, and bonus point per club you can name. So you'll have got Manchester United. You might not have got Preston North End, Real Madrid, LA Galaxy, AC Milan, and Paris Saint-Germain are the answer. Yes, we think Aussie rules is the same. Do you know what? For the footy one, if you, mind you, I did say Aussie rules, didn't I, out loud, which is, well, anyway, if you put that, give yourself a point. You were listening. Which month sees both the All-Ireland football and hurling finals played at Croke Park in Dublin? The answer is September. And in Aussie rules, now that we know that's what we're talking about, there are 4 goalposts. How many points do you get if you kick the ball through the middle 2? The answer is 6. Liz got 5 out of 10 in round 1. Well done. Well done, Liz. Question 6. Carry on. Let's carry on with the answers. In American football, I think it was. When is Super Bowl Sunday? The answer is the first Sunday in February. Now, if you put February, that's fine. That's 1 point. But if you knew, like the Derby is now the first Saturday in June, used to be the first Sunday in June, and obviously this year was the first Saturday in July. But anyway, usually, traditionally, was the first Wednesday in June, or like Thanksgiving is the 3rd Thursday in November, I think. Anyway, the first Sunday in February is the answer for Super Bowl. Question 7, who has scored the most own goals in the Premier League? And the answer is Richard Dunn. I think for QPR, he certainly played for QPR, but that's the answer. Next one was 2 English players have won the World Cup Golden Boot. Who are they? Gary Lineker in 1986 and Harry Kane in 2018. Per team, how many team, you point for each of those, by the way. Per team, how many team members on the pitch in a game of Gaelic football? 15 per team. And in American football, where do the players score? The end zone, which for ages I thought was just N, the letter N. But I didn't realize that's how they say end. end zone. Liz got 5 out of 10 round one. I said that. Stephanie also got 5 out of 10. Adam got 7. Matt and team got 6. And Joey Leskin knew Tim Weiser. That is very impressive. Right, this is my favourite round. My favourite round so far, round 3, the picture round. So you saw 5 images of 2 sports stars merged together. And you needed to separate them in your mind and work out who the 2 stars were. So let's have a look at image 1. That was Usain Bolt and Serena Williams. Brilliant. Now, image 2, I reckon most of you will have got Tim Henman because it looked like Tim Henman, didn't it? But you see, Ben Ainsley looks quite like Tim Henman. And that's the bottom half was Ben Ainsley. Actually, in some cases, that hair is Ben Ainsley too. So sometimes you get a bit of them at the top and the bottom. And it's just the 2 of them melded together. Anyway, well done if you got both those. This was, I thought the next one was the funniest. And that was Lionel Messi and Mia Hamm. Both, obviously, top international footballers. But that's a very, very funny photo. Now, number 4, genius, because I'd never realised how similar these 2 great British sporting knights look to each other. It's Sir Bobby Moore and Sir Chris Hoy. And that's the reason I said, look at the retro shirt. That must be a West Ham shirt. And that is, look at the little lock of hair coming down. They are. Chris Hoy could, yes. There's definite DNA in there. And finally, again, they look very similar. Paula Radcliffe and Victoria Pendleton. So very, very well done if you got all those. And I hope you agree that is a cracking round. So thank you. You have the course of the next round to make the donation that will put you into the prize draw to win the Magnum of Moet and Chandon. So if you would like to, it could be £2, it could be £20, it could be whatever you want it to be. It could be 200, it could be, yeah, it can be whatever you want it to be. But at the end of it, one of you will win a Magnum of Moet and Chandon champagne, which is very nice. We've got some more great scores coming in, so well done. Could we repeat the answer to round 2, question 8? Yes, 1 second. Round 2, question 8 was 2 English players have won the World Cup Golden Boot. The answer was Gary Lineker and Harry Kane. I think that's what you wanted. Yes. Yes, and Beckham's helped a lot of people to bonus points, so well done for... See, real hardcore Beckham fans, they've got all 6. I wouldn't. I mean, I like him and I've met him, and do you know what? I've kissed him on the cheek, and he had very, very, very soft, very soft. I think he must use conditioner on his beard. Very soft beard. And I remember thinking he smells of lemons. He's, you know, and it might have been a scent, who knows? Or maybe he just smells of lemons. Very nice smell. Anyway, he's lovely. So I'm glad that the big Beckham fans got all their bonus points on that. So I'm going to give you a minute to just clear your minds ahead of the next round, which is Record Breakers, but also to make a donation so that you don't miss anything, okay? And also it means I can just check that I'm doing all the things I'm meant to be doing. By the way, we would love it if you can support us on social media. So after tonight, I think you can consider yourself Bike Project converts. And on social media, you're going to encourage people to donate their bikes. You're going to encourage people to volunteer. And you're going to encourage people to think about the Bike Project if they're considering giving money to a charity, because it's very direct. There's very few overhead costs. And it is an amazing thing that you will do for an individual that would transform their lives, and we can reach many individuals, and we do. So it's a really, really good thing. And also within the actual bike workshops, there's just such a nice vibe, and there will be once obviously everybody can get back into them. And the thing is, for just £100, we can refurb a bike, make it good as new, and give it to a refugee. So that is the price of freedom, if you like, £100. And as I say, 350 refugees currently waiting for a bike because everything has had to slow down and everything is costing more. And maybe because people are using their bikes more, they're not considering donating them. But as I said earlier, I want them to be ambitious and get themselves a new bike and donate their old bike to us. So, you know, encourage your friends and family to do that as well. So you can actually find out much more as well about what the bike project has got coming up. Lots of fun events. So the website address is www.thebikeproject.co.uk. So have a look at that. Hopefully that's given you a bit of time to make a wee donation, because at the end of this round, that prize draw is going to be closed. And then you'll have missed your chance. And you'll think, darn it, I could have won a magnum of Merton Chandon champagne and I didn't. Anyway, let us move on to the next round, which is record breakers. It's lucky I didn't say what I was going to say earlier, because this is the question that I would have given away the answer to. So question 1 of record breakers. Great Britain's most successful Olympians both have 6 gold medals and 1 silver medal. Who are they? So Great Britain's most successful Olympians, they've both got 6 gold medals and 1 silver medal. Who are they? Question 2 is a more international, outward-looking one. Our Americans who are joining us on this quiz will get this straight away. Who is the most successful Olympian in the world with 28 medals, 23 of which are gold? So who is the most successful Olympian? 28 medals, 23 of them gold. Question 3. One of the world records that you could try and break while staying at home is for the most number of socks put on one foot in 30 seconds. Here is my question. How many socks does the current world record stand at? So how many socks do you think you could put on one foot in 30 seconds? And what is the current world record? You see, I wouldn't be very good at this because I like to have my socks the right way around. And also you'd want socks of expanding size, wouldn't you? I'd start off the little sports sock, you know, the little ankle ones I wear for golf. And then I'd build up and I'd have great big walking socks by the end of it. That's what I'd do. But I still don't think I would match the world record. So how many socks on one foot in 30 seconds is the world record? Question 4. In which sport did Bob Beamon of the USA set an Olympic record in Mexico City in 1968 that still stands today? So in which sport did Bob Beamon set that Olympic record in Mexico City? It still stands as an Olympic record. And what's the sport? And you, gosh, if you knew the distance, I'd give you like 10 bonus points, because that would impress me. Question 5. Usain Bolt won the 100 and 200 meters at 3 successive Olympic Games. He has recently had his first baby. Well, he hasn't had it, but you know what I mean. He and his partner have had their first baby. What is it called? And this, I think, wins the prize for best baby name ever. So what is Usain Bolt's baby called? I don't know why I got so excited about baby names in this quiz. I just did. Question 6. In rugby league, which team has won the most? Which team has the most wins in Challenge Cup history, with 19? So which is the most successful team in the Challenge Cup? So this is all record breakers. Question 7. Which horse has the record winning distance in the Derby? 10 lengths was the distance. Which horse holds that record? It looked like it was going to be beaten this year, actually, for a moment or two. Still was a massive winning distance this year. 5.5, I think it was. Question 8. Who has the most Wimbledon singles titles? And I am not going to say any more about that question. I will just repeat it. Who has the most Wimbledon singles titles? Number 9, Jessica Ennis-Hill's British record for the heptathlon was beaten by who as she won her first World Championship title last year? So who beat Jessica Ennis-Hill's British record for the heptathlon when she won the World Championships last year? And finally in this round, question 10, which current track and field world champion from Great Britain also has a first-class honours degree in history from King's College London? So which current track and field world champion from Great Britain also has a first-class degree in history, or first-class honours degree, well, in history from King's College London? I'll show you those in text form, just in case you've got any gaps you need to fill in. So record breakers was the theme. And the first question was about Great Britain's most successful Olympians. They both have 6 gold medals and 1 silver. Who are they? I'm after 2 names there. Question 2 was who's the most successful Olympian on the planet? With 28 medals, 23 of them gold. Question 3 was about how many socks can you get on 1 foot in 30 seconds? So what is the current world record? Question 4, in which sport did Bob Beamon set an Olympic record in Mexico City in 1968 that still stands today? Question 5 is about Usain Bolt's baby. What is it called? Question 6, in rugby league, which team has the most wins in the Challenge Cup, with 19 of them? Question 7, which horse has the record-winning distance in the Derby of 10 lengths? Ah, an added clue there, in 1981. That might swing it, actually. I think a lot of people will know that. Question 8, who has the most Wimbledon singles titles? Question 9, Jessica Ennis-Hill's British record for the heptathlon was beaten by who as she won her first World Championship title last year? And finally in this round, which current track and field world champion from Great Britain also has a first-class honours degree in history from King's College London? So thank you to everyone who has donated and therefore entered the prize draw for the Magnum of champagne. We're going to close that now. In terms of the draw, it doesn't stop you donating, but you won't be entered into the draw because we're now going to randomly select one of you to win that Magnum of champagne. I will have nothing to do with the selection, so you cannot influence me by saying nice things about me in the chat box. You can just do that to make me smile. We're going to enter our final round, and this I hope will teach you, will teach all of us, will share with us even more about the bike project and what it does and essentially who it helps. So we're calling it the bike round, round 5. Question 1. Now, if you were listening to me carefully, you'll get this. How much does an asylum-seeking refugee receive per week from the UK government? I said this earlier on when I was talking about the charity. I'll give you within £3 of this, okay? But how much does an asylum-seeking refugee receive per week from the UK government? Question 2. One of the home countries of some of the refugees we've worked with this year is Syria. What is the national sport and most popular sport in Syria? So one of the countries from which our refugees come from is Syria. The question is, what is their national sport and indeed their most popular sport? Question 3. Oh, I didn't say this earlier. I should have done, but this is an A, B, or C. Approximately how many bikes have the bike project donated? Is it A, approximately 2,000? Is it B, approximately 5,000? Or is it C, give or take 6,000? So how many bikes have the bike project donated? Is it 2,000, 5,000, or 6,000? Question 4, a donation of how much, and I did say this earlier, so you'll get this if you were listening, a donation of how much can provide a refugee with a refurbished bike, safety equipment and training. And I'll give you within £10 of this, but a donation of how much, or how much would it cost to give a refugee a fully refurbished bike, safety equipment and training. Oh, I'm quite impressed. Steph McCabe is playing along with the quiz while on her bike at home and even has her helmet on. I think you might have to share a photo on Twitter maybe with us. Could you do that? I'd like to see that. And finally, we've also supported refugees from Eritrea in East Africa. Thanks to its flat roads and lack of cars and buses, Asmara, a city in Eritrea, has the perfect conditions for which sport? So Asmara in Eritrea is flat, it's hardly any cars or buses, perfect conditions for which sport or activity? And there's a great story that you can follow in that. So there's those 5 questions in text form. So how much does an asylum-seeking refugee receive per week from the UK government? What is the most popular sport in Syria and the national sport? Approximately how many bikes have the bike project donated? A donation of how much can provide a refugee with a refurbished bike, safety equipment and training? And Asmara in Eritrea has the perfect conditions for which sport? Our Twitter, by the way, is @the_bike project. So, Steph, if you'd like to share a photo to us on Twitter, that would be great. And do follow us and you'll know what's going on, and encourage your friends to follow us as well. Right. I'm going to give you the answers to rounds 4 and 5. I hope you've enjoyed the quiz. And I know we've kept it rattling along and haven't had a break or anything, but I figure you've given us your time and we want to fill that time, hopefully in an entertaining way and informative, because I like people to go away from it going, oh my word, did you know that women were not allowed in cycling until 1984? And even then it was only road cycling, and it wasn't until 1988 that they were allowed in the velodrome, and even then it was only the sprint. God, look at them now. Oh, can't stop them. Anyway, round 4, record breakers. Here are your answers. Great Britain's most successful Olympians both have 6 gold medals and 1 silver. They are Sir Chris Hoy and Jason Kenny. And that's what I was nearly going to say earlier. Jason Kenny could go on to break that record in Tokyo. Mind you, so could Laura, because Laura Kenny's on 4 gold medals. It's not impossible. I don't know how many silvers and bronzes she's got. Sort of have in my head that she does. Anyway, I will look it up. Who's the most successful Olympian in the world? Michael Phelps is the answer. The record for how many socks you can get on one foot. This is a world record, genuine bona fide world record, 28 in 30 seconds. I tell you, that is good going. That really is. You've got to have all your, they've got to be old socks. They've got to be stretchy. In which sport did Bob Beamon set an Olympic record that still stands today? The answer is long jump. I said I'd give you a bonus point if you knew how far. 8.90 meters. I said actually I'd give you 10 bonus points. So I will. Usain Bolt's baby. Oh, we should have put a picture of the baby in, shouldn't we? Olympia, same as Serena's baby, actually. Olympia Lightning Bolt. I mean, you know, come on. That is the coolest name ever. Olympia Lightning Bolt. In rugby league, the team that's won the most Challenge Cups is Wigan Warriors. I don't mind if you just put Wigan, that's fine. Wigan Warriors is the answer, Wigan. Which horse has the record-winning distance in the Derby? It was in 1981. The answer is Shergar. 10 lengths he won by. And Serpentine, he won this year, as I said, was, I think, 5.5. Who has the most Wimbledon singles titles? This is question 8. Now, you see, some people will have gone, Roger Federer, but they won't have thought, now, hang on a second. I didn't say male or female. Martina Navratilova has the most Wimbledon singles titles with 9. And She's level with Billie Jean King in 20 in terms of including doubles and mixed. Anyway, who broke Jessica Ennis-Hill's British record when she became world champion? The answer is Katarina Johnson-Thompson. I will accept KJT. Question 10 was the current track and field world champion who has a first-class honours degree in history. The answer is Dina Asher-Smith. We love Dina. And I'm hoping that for both KJT and Dina, the delay in the Olympics will work in their favour. I think for Dina, I think for both of them it could actually. So the final round was the bike round. And this was really a test of whether you were listening or not, although on one I hadn't told you. So first one, I did say £37. It's actually £37.75 that an asylum-seeking refugee gets per week from the UK government, but I will take anything within 34 to 40, essentially. The most popular sport in Syria is football. How many bikes have the Bike Project donated? Approximately 6,000, and that is in a relatively short period of time as well. So that's an amazing number. And a donation of £100, which I mentioned earlier, can provide a refugee with a refurbished bike, safety equipment and training. But if you put 90 or 110, I'll take it. And you can donate that if you'd like. I won't literally take it. I will take it and give it to the Bike Project. Eritrea, this city, Asmara, of course, perfect conditions for cycling. So that concludes our quiz, and I am going to wait and find out which one of you has won the Magnum of Champagne. But I just want to say a huge thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the donations that you have made. We are very grateful because actually in obviously right now, it's very difficult for a lot of charities to do the things they traditionally would to raise money. So we are coming up with different ways of connecting with you, different ways of inventing, fun, actually low-cost events that everyone can be involved in. So I'm really glad that you've spent time with us tonight. And the prize draw winner is Adam and Hannah. So thank you very much. A Magnum of Merton Chandon Champagne, quite difficult to say, will be on its way to you. So thank you very much indeed. Our aim tonight is to raise £2,000, and we will, I hope, have got near to that. But it doesn't mean that it stops now, because this quiz will be available on YouTube. And if you've enjoyed it, if you liked the questions, if you found them interesting or entertaining, you can very much share that with your friends. And we will get up there to 2,000. We're definitely well over the 1,000 mark, but we'll try and get up there towards £2,000, because that would be a nice total and we'd be able to do really good work with that. But I'm going to let you now mull over the things that you knew and the things that you didn't, and go away and look up pictures of Usain Bolt's baby, Olympia Lightning Bolt, if there are any. There may not be. Thank you so much to all the guys behind the scenes as well, who put a lot of work into making tonight happen. And thank you to those who donated a little bit extra to come to the VIP gathering beforehand, and indeed to those of you who've done so to enter the draw. That is it from me. But if you would like to host this quiz with your friends to raise more, we could offer it to you for downloads. So actually, that's a very good point, because you can use all these questions, and we will give you that for a very small donation, and then you can have one over on your mates, because they wouldn't know how many socks you can get on one foot, what the world record is, would they? No. So let's just have a look. I know that you're entering into the chat thing, maybe what scores you got. We had, how many questions did we have at the end? We had 5 rounds in the last question. The last round was 5 and the picture round was 5. So 40 questions. There were obviously bonuses on offer. So I'd say anything over 30 points is going to be pretty good. Howard got 17. Okay, Howard, that's good. That is good. That's fine. No, that's good. I'm not saying it's not good, but I suspect that there might be, wow, gosh, there could be people who are like over 35. There might be. Let's say 17 is par. Okay, that's respectable, Howard. That's good. That's good, solid knowledge. But I reckon anyone, thank you, Liz. That's very sweet of you to say that you enjoyed the hosting. Thank you. But I think anything over 30 is going to be impressive. And if anyone got over 40, you stick it in that chat box. 42! Christina Perry, 42! Oh, that is good. I mean, if anyone tops that, I'll be really, you're only Chris Hoy, and probably not even Chris Hoy, because he wouldn't have known the socks. I don't think that was, okay. Christina says, it technically would be 51 if it was definitely 10 bonus points for the distance question. Well, that is, I think, Christina, either way, you are tonight's winner. I'm giving the crown to you in full glory and honour that you knew Bob Beeman's long jump Olympic record distance. Lisa got 31 with the 10 bonus, so that's very well done. But I am going to let you see the other scores that come up in that chat box and bid you farewell with many, many congratulations to Christina. And as I said, thanks again to the team from the Bike Project behind the scenes who made this all possible. Thank you for your generosity. Good night.